The more I seem to learn, the less I feel like I actually know. Stupid saying, I know. Very true in this case. Still, at least I'm finding out a little bit more about Kramer. I confess I didn't think I'd be calling in my favour with the police in this manner. Still, everything we learn helps us better face the enemy. Although I don't think I'd have got this far without Bjorn. He's a man of many skills, some of which I'm starting to find quite surprising. I hope his little trip to the cemetery went well, and that body is one less thing we need to worry about. This is Red Moon Roleplaying.
September 19th, Thursday. Still exhausted. What will you do today?
I feel a slight relief that that's done with. But I also kind of feel bad because I like that driver. Emil, which was his name, was good at what he did. And he didn't ask questions either. And he had a nice smile. But there's nothing left of him now, is there?
There is nothing.
I rub my forehead trying to go over what we need to do. Okay, so today we need to find Philip Kramer. I might know someone who can help us track down his address, though I'm not sure it's completely reliable.
Well, I might have some information myself. In fact, I'll go and make a call right now. And I nod to him and just sort of go downstairs to the hotel and request to use their phone there.
It's become a little bit later in the morning here, and you've come to a time probably around 9 when you think that Lucas Schneider might be in the office.
Yes. Oh, and before I made the call, I also again went to get some quick breakfast and went outside into the car to make sure that Jenkins had something to eat as well.
He was outside the car again. How does this cat keep doing it? He must have been out exploring Hamburg all by himself. He meows and looks at you.
What are you doing out of the car, Jenkins? It's not safe. I wish I could bring you in. But you know, no pets in the building, all that rubbish.
If a cat could look disappointed, then that is the look he's giving you. And you call Lucas Schneider.
Schneider, Carver here.
I have what you need. Although I got a really weird feeling when I was looking around these files. It was as if they were sort of being deliberately hidden, as if someone didn't want people looking at them. Philip Kramer is listed by the police as one of Europe's most prominent and powerful Satanists. He's got 3 convictions. One in 1962 for arson that gave him closed psychiatric care. One in 1972 for murder, closed psychiatric care. And one in 1978 for drugs, a conditional sentence. He's wanted and he's under investigation for kidnapping and murder. He was seen together with 2 Romani boys who were later found in plastic bags in the River Spree. The investigation has been closed due to lack of evidence. And the witness who saw Philip and the 2 boys has since vanished without a trace. I also looked into some of his known accomplices. There is a Anton Mahler and a Alexander Pagodin. On Anton Mahler, it's really weird. There was nothing. Like, there was no information at all. And this raised alarm bells with me immediately. Something has been cleaned up here. And it's been cleaned up very, very professionally. Pagodin, on the other hand, he was essentially running the the mafia in East Berlin. He's been convicted for black market trade, for drugs, for embezzlement, for accounting fraud. But all of these convictions that he's been given, they've all been conditional. The courts have been extremely lenient with him. He's currently under investigation on 5 other charges. As the investigations are ongoing, more information isn't available right now, but he seems to have continued his criminal life after the fall of the wall. We also saw that these 3, or at least the 2 that we had information on, we saw that they were connected with this Slavic association. It seems to function as a cover for their illicit activities, but there's not any clear evidence that provides the link. There's only indications, but nothing solid.
You say he's wanted, so why are you not arresting him right away? Why is he not in for questioning? I saw him at the Golden Plaque dinner of all places, only a few days ago.
Everything that I see connected with these guys indicate that they have friends in very, very high places. I mean, it seems like they're creating these cases because they have to do that, and doing anything else would look incredibly suspicious, but they're deliberately making these cases just fall flat and not lead to anything. These are very, very dangerous people, Carver. I really hope that you know what you're doing.
What's Philip Kramer's current address?
There's no current address. He is on the run.
What about the other 2 then? I'm pretty sure I phoned up one of them and I got through to a secretary. Which one do we at least know where they are?
So there's active addresses for both Anton Mahler and Sasha Pagodin, and they seem to be up to date. So these seem to be the real deal. You'll probably be able to find the 2 of them at these locations. Philip Kramer, on the other hand.
Does the name Magda Orlova come up?
Yes, Magda Orlova seems to be an old friend. She pops up in being mentioned in connection with both Philip and with Alexander, and obviously with Anton Mahler. There's really nothing there.
I see. Something tells me that's all you can do for me right now, isn't it?
I think that's it. Be careful. Be careful.
I just hang up. I frown a little and I go back to Bjorn. Well, the good news is we might be able to find one person today. The bad news is we don't really want to find any of them.
I sit there and I have a half-eaten breakfast. Not really finding so much appetite anymore. But I've been trying and had my coffee. There's a unread newspaper next to me as well. What exactly do you mean? What do we got?
We got the addresses of Anton Mahler and Sasha Pagodin. Fortunately, Philip Kramer is nowhere to be found. He's on the run from the police. The fact that he could attend that dinner boggles the mind, but he's involved in a big thing. The Slavic Association, as I thought, might just be a front for various underhanded dealings, if you gather my meaning. And then I tell him more of the details that I got from the phone, and then I conclude with, I don't think we want to go after this Pagodin fellow, not yet. Anton Mahler, on the other hand, maybe that's a start for now. What do you think?
I kind of thought the other way around, because if Anton Mahler is the one that's cleaned up, he's gonna have some pretty powerful people surrounding him as well.
I suppose we can at least examine one of his addresses, make a move from there.
I guess this is true. Just before we go, can I just give a short call to Irene and just let her know what's happened? I feel that I wanted to meet her in person, but...
You call Irene Adler.
This is Adler?
This is Bjorn.
Have you found anything?
Yeah, I'm sorry for not calling back straight away. It's been a crazy couple of days, and we went over to Magda's place, and we found her there. in Berlin.
You found her? Is she okay?
I'm afraid she was in very poor condition when we found her. We called the ambulance and they took her to the hospital, but she didn't make it. I'm so sorry.
What? What?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Irene.
Oh, no.
I know.
No, not Magda.
I wanted to see you in person and let you know, but...
You hear her starting to cry, and she cries uncontrollably. Imagine this voice on the other end is just sort of crying in almost a panicked way, and it doesn't seem to ever end. It just keeps going and going and going, and you can really feel her pain.
I'm gonna just let her cry for a while.
And she eventually she's able to, put herself together again.
I'm sorry. Where is she now?
She was taken to the Maxberger in Berlin, the hospital. So that's the last time where we saw her off. They want to leave it to the whoever is closest to her to determine her or decide what to do with the body.
I think maybe that's me. I'll head over there right away. Thank you so much for finding her, but I really wish that things would be different.
I'm so sorry, Irene. So sorry. Feel free to call me if you need me.
She's hung up the phone.
Hello? Right. Yeah. I'm gonna click my phone as well. At least now she knows and she can start to deal with it and move on. Alright, so we gotta check out Anton Mahler's place, and there's also these strange things that we still got. I open the glove compartment and pulls out the postcard. This Piotr. Remind me again what it said on this postcard.
The postcard has no sender address, but it's stamped at the post office in Frankfurt an der Oder, Germany. On the back, sprawling handwriting in barely legible Russian reads, "I have seen him," and it's signed Piotr. The picture on the postcard is a view of the city of Frankfurt an der Oder and the big tower at the center of town, the Oderturm. It's a fairly dreary looking East German town. You can see that the sort of revitalization efforts have yet to reach all the way over there.
Right. So there's this Piotr who has seen him, according to this postcard. And that was Frankfurt an der Oder. That was the place where she was committed to for a while, wasn't it, Carver?
Yes. What are your thoughts on this? You want to look into that as well? I suppose we could do that first, maybe.
Do you think we should call the institution where she was and see if they know who Piotr is?
Yes. Maybe you should handle that one. I don't know if I'm I'm in the best mood for a casual question asking.
Sure. Let's see. I'm gonna call. Who do you call when you want a number?
You call the telephone directory and you reach an operator there that can help you to find whatever it is that you're looking for. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the number to the institution where Magda was committed to in Frankfurt an der Oder.
Right, so you're asking for a mental hospital in Frankfurt an der Oder.
That's right.
And that is no problem, there's only one. Frankfurt an der Oder is not a particularly big city. They connect you.
This is the Frankfurt Clinic.
Hi there, my name is Fritz. I I have gotten a card here from an acquaintance, and I was just worried about his current condition. We haven't met in a while. His name is Piotr. I'm not sure which surname he's decided to go by.
We don't have right to give out that kind of information over the phone. Who am I speaking to again? What did you say name was? Fritz.
Fritz von Luckner.
So let's see if we can get this lady to give you the information that you're looking for. So roll for influence other.
I'm rolling an 11.
Well, we do have Piotr here, but we really can't hand over any more information over the phone. If you would like to inquire further, you are welcome to visit us here at the clinic. Our visitation hours are between 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Of course. I know. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
My name is Stella. You can ask for me. I'm manning the reception here.
Oh, very good, Stella. Very good. No, I was just worried because we were recently visiting a friend of Piotr's. Her name is Magda Orlova, and she has unfortunately just passed away.
Magda Orlova, you say?
This is true. This is her.
She seems like she's reacting on that name, and then
no. As I said, if you would like to inquire further, please visit us.
I'm sorry. We're just far away from the town right now, so I was wondering is there any chance that Piotr is available for speaking to, because Magda recently passed away herself, and we feel like we should be the one letting him know.
Listen, Mr. Fritz, I cannot actually give you any further information over the phone. We have rules regarding secrecy here. We of course have to protect our patients' private information and integrity. So
of course,
I'm sorry. This is all I can do for you. I really cannot do anything further for you. Please come and visit us if you would like to know more.
And she hangs up.
All right, so we got confirmed Piotr at the Frankfurt Oder Hospital, and yeah, this is obviously the one that Magda was kept in as well during that time. I'm not sure if this is gonna lead to anything else, but at least that's one more of her acquaintances circled in.
Right. Well, I guess then we don't really have time to drive all the way to this town, do we?
Not unless we got reason to, and I don't think we have. So,
in that case, maybe it's time to check on our friend Anton Mahler. Oh, and, might be good to bring your gun.
Anton Mahler lives in a condo on Rösslingerstrasse. It's in one of the high-rent areas of the city. You arrive there. The building can't be more than a year old. It features large windows and a facade in black and silver. You're sitting in the back of the Mercedes, and you look up into the rear view mirror. You can see Björn's face there as he's driving. This is when you feel that familiar feeling. Your sixth sense.
$16, which is 3 edges.
That gives you a lot of edges, a lot of things that you can get. Is there anything that you would like to use already now, or?
How about I just start mulling over what I've been reading during the night, and also what I've learnt in these phone calls, and I just think, is there any clue I've missed, or something that I've maybe not paid attention to?
You think that you have essentially the most important things that you need. You do know that you have some friends of Magda's and contacts that she's been working with, but none of it strikes you as being crucial. The things that seem the most crucial to you is the Slavic Association. You have plenty of reason to suspect them. You have found out about the 3 Russians and that they're connected with this organization, and that Magda was connected with this organization. There is, however, one area that you think can be investigated further, and that is the medical records of Magda, what had she actually been treated for before, and also Dr. Richter had actually promised to do some investigations of his own. He might actually have more things to share with you.
I'll remark to Bjorn as we're driving. Maybe I was being too harsh on Dr. Richter. Now I think about it, maybe his information could actually be helpful. What do you think?
Is there anything we didn't think of that he said, you mean?
Magda was being treated for quite a lot of things. Maybe he could actually get us access to some of her medical records.
So, what do you want to do?
Well, let's go after Mahler for now. We're in the car already.
Alright, well, think if there's anything else you want to ask him. I hesitate for a bit. Corey, has your condition changed?
You're talking about the boils?
Yeah.
Yes, it's got worse.
Mine too.
Assuming it's the same with you, yes. I'll be honest, it's something I'm trying not to think about.
It feels like it almost happened when I was trying to sleep, like that made it worse. Look, it's like... Was it called a dream curse? Does that mean it's like someone is working through our dreams to get to us?
From what I'm read, I believe that is very much the implication.
Is that why Magda took like Valium? Was she trying to induce some sort of dreamless sleep?
Actually, I hadn't connected that.
Huh.
Maybe that's something Richter could answer.
I'm curious about that, and I'm also curious if you find anything, if there's anything we can do to like just slow down the process, perhaps, because now it's kind of alarming.
I'll be honest, I don't think there is. I did look up that. I think the only defense we have is to get these people now and do the counter ritual.
I look at him through the back mirror and I nod, looking quite serious. Alright, yeah. Let's get to the first one then. Looks like quite a fancy place. Can't be more than a year old.
I peer out the window and I already start trying to see if I can get a sense of the place and what's going on. I'd like to observe the situation, please.
Roll for that.
14.
Alright, that gives you one question. What would you like to ask?
What can I use to my advantage?
You see this new condo, this big building, this very new one. You also see that at a bus stop outside the building there's a man sitting there reading the newspaper, smoking a cigarette. You get the feeling that this house is being watched, because the way that he's sitting there and the pile of cigarettes next to where he's sitting, he's probably keeping an eye out. So you have a feeling this place is under heavy watch. There might be others as well.
Bjorn?
Carver?
You see the man over there? He looked like he's been there quite a while, doesn't he?
Do I make this out as well?
When you look, and given what Carver has told you, yes. It's a very typical situation where someone is, keeping a building under watch, trying to look inconspicuous. It does look like he knows what he's doing, but there's still something not quite on the level.
Is there anything that kind of indicates whether he's from the police or where he's from the other side?
This is something that you know a little bit about. This guy, he looks very much like Stasi to you. But Stasi is of course gone now, the East German secret police. But if there's ever a Stasi employee, this is one.
I'm guessing secret police. What do you think?
Maybe. I don't know.
The question here, because our dear friend Anton has got some friends in high places, is he looking out for Anton or is he looking out for the police?
How do we... Do you think there's a way to distract him or something? I want us to get in there and not be being watched, but I think there could be more people. What do you think? I don't really... This isn't something I'm exactly specialised in.
I think it'd be pretty obvious if I try to distract him. Though I might be able to... I would need more information if I was to do a proper distraction. Huh.
But we drive round to the back of the house and see what the situation is there. I'm thinking going through the front door might not be wise on this one.
Yeah. Let's see what alternatives we got.
All right, and you drive around to the other side of the building. There is a back door, and given that you have done and observed the situation over this building, you can see that here there doesn't seem to be a watch, at least not outside the building. The door does look like it's not used particularly often, and you get the feeling that it's probably locked. Of course, there are ways around that.
What's the time now?
So, you have driven to Berlin, because that's where Anton Mahler lives. You left your hotel in Hamburg. So it is now in the middle of the day, around 1 o'clock.
I hate to ask this, but knowing some of the things you seem to know how to do, I don't suppose breaking a lock is one of them.
Well, it's not something I usually do, but I would need the right tools for it.
You can also try to just use whatever you have in the car, and you will get a bit of a minus on the roll, but you can also try to improvise.
I got a basic fix kit, and I've probably got a screwdriver. Yeah, let's make our way over there and see if it's open first.
Alright. And I get out the car and follow him.
You make your way over to the door. You don't get the feeling that it's that there's any kind of alarm on this door. It seems like it's supposed to be opened once in a while as long as you have the key. You think you can use your screwdriver and the improvised tools that you have. So I would like you to then roll an act under pressure. What's going to happen if you succeed is that you will be able to, in that case, get it open. You will, however, leave traces. It will be visible that someone has broken into this building.
Can I help? Or can I do a helping roll on this?
You can keep an eye out and make sure that no one... you can basically be a spotter to make sure that no one sees what's going on.
Okay, so I just go, fuck. Try and be subtle, Bjorn. I just start looking around.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to force this up without leaving traces behind. Do we want to do this?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Here goes. And I'm getting to work.
Alright, roll for act under pressure, and you will get -2 on this roll, and remember that you have also the ongoing -1 from your exhaustion.
So 15.
You get it open. I mean, you're leaving a whole bunch of traces left behind, but it does go open reasonably quiet. And you find yourself inside of the building, inside of the apartment building.
The second I see him enter, I just very quickly dart in behind him.
Alright. Here we are. Do we have any idea of did he mention what floor he's on?
The address indicates that the apartment that he lives in is on the 8th floor.
I'm looking around for any notes.
Inside of the apartment building, there is a notice board, and it has information for the tenants of various kinds. Yes.
Is there anything that I could use as a possible guise in case someone would come asking questions about what I'm doing there?
There is a maintenance company listed and a cleaning company listed.
Okay, interesting. I'm gonna make notes of those as well.
So you have the names of those two companies that you could use if you were to try to explain who you are and what you're doing there.
Okay, so let's get up to the 8th floor.
You get up to the 8th floor. There's a long corridor. It seems as if Mr. Mahler's apartment should be at the end of this hall. There's corridors that veers away at places along this corridor as well. You think you can hear noises of someone talking.
Alright. Start moving along the corridor, seeing if there's a name of Mahler on any of the doors.
You start to move forward and you realize that in the corridor that you will need to pass now, there is two men talking, and they might be able to spot you if you continue further down in this hall.
Okay, we've got company, it seems.
What do we do?
I don't think they would recognize us, but it's highly likely that he's got someone looking out more. I'm not about to start the fire alarm. We could either try and cause some sort of distraction and then try to get by, or we could just try to look inconspicuous.
Maybe we should just try and get past them as subtle as possible.
Yeah.
Do you wish to roll for observe the situation?
I'll do that, yes. 13 minus the 1. What is the best way through this then? So, if we're going to sneak past and looking around, what seems to be the best way to do that?
When you're doing this, when you're observing, you're basically peeking, and you're actually looking at what's going on here. What you see is you see two men wearing quite similar clothes to the man outside. You really get the feeling that this is some kind of like undercover security of some kind. All these men have sort of the same look. You know, they have this look of hardened people, either police or security forces of some kind. Look to be in quite good shape, all of them. You also notice that they are armed. One of them is sort of pacing around a little bit, and you see the other one following him with his eyes. If you time the move just right, you should be able to move past this intersection corridor as their eyes are facing in the other direction.
I sort of give Bjorn a tap and go, wait for it. Alright, now.
Bjorn, roll for act under pressure.
9 plus 6 plus 4. 19.
19. Wow. Smooth. You move like a ghost, and Carver is able to follow in your footsteps. You are able to make it past this intersecting corridor, and you're now standing before a door marked Mahler.
Alright, crap. What do we do now?
Can we hear anything from inside? I listen.
It's quiet.
I very carefully feel the door if it's open.
The door is actually open.
I give Carver a glance and I hint inwards towards the apartment.
You open the door. You see an apartment that is in... It is sort of... The feeling that it really gives you is professionality. Everything is like clean, ordered perfectly, and you notice almost no personal items whatsoever in here. It's as if whoever lives here doesn't have a personality. There is, however, someone here. There's a man that you can see sitting in the living room. He's sitting in the sofa. He seems to be reading something. He's dressed similar to the other men that you have seen here.
The question is, do we need to get past him
If you wish to investigate this apartment, you will need to deal with him in some way. He will, of course, see any kind of searches. He will hear if you start rustling around in any of the other rooms. You know, the apartment isn't that big. Your senses tell you that you either incapacitate him, either lethally or non-lethally, depending on your preference. You can, of course, also interrogate him. He might be able to tell you a few things. Is it Anton Mahler? You don't get the feeling that it is. This is probably another one of the guards.
I pull out my gun. I don't know if you noticed before, because of all the rushing about, Carver, but it looks a bit extreme. It's not a big gun. It's a small Sig Sauer P226, but it's got a polished metal color rather than the normal, more subtle black. It's got a silencer and it's got a bit of a high cap magazine. That would be the magazine shoots out a bit under the gun. It's quite a piece of work. Something that someone who has seen an action film would have, probably.
As I see you pull out the gun, I'll probably just move behind you and just gently make sure the door behind us is closed.
You close the door gently.
And I move in quietly, and do we come up from behind, or?
He's sitting facing away from you.
And I'm coming up to him, and I'm pointing the gun to the back of his head, and I start talking. Don't make a move.
He's completely still. You can hear him like swallow.
Take out your gun, please. Slowly.
He starts to move for his gun, and you notice that he knows exactly how to do this without causing you to shoot, basically. He is trained. He lifts the gun up, holding it with the tip so that he cannot reach the trigger. He holds it up.
Good.
You can reach for it if you want.
I'm reaching for it.
You grab the gun.
And I put it in one of my coat pockets. And then I move around him to sit in a place opposite of him.
He looks to be in his 40s, similar look to the others here. Stassi, yeah, definitely Stassi.
Are you here for protection of Mr. Mahler?
I work for Secure, here to keep Mr. Mahler's apartment safe and secure, and it seems as if I have failed in that.
I sit down and quite casually, still pointing the gun towards him, and said, "Yes, well, I'm not here to make your work harder. We're actually looking to meet with Mr. Mahler. Do you know where he is?"
Maybe he's supposed to be at the office, at Secure's office, downtown.
Of course. We have reason to believe that he has things of interest to us. We're not looking to case the place, obviously, as you can understand, but my friend here is going to have a look around. And I would appreciate it if you would keep calm as we do this.
As long as you don't kill me. There's no reason to do that. I'll be here, I'll be quiet.
I'm looking to Carver.
I should warn you that the others will be here in about 10 minutes. So you better do things quickly.
I move straight past him and try and find like an office or a bedroom or anything.
I appreciate that.
He nods.
And I'm gonna let Carver have a look around, because I think it'd be a better idea me sitting here with him while he does that. Is there anyone else in here now, in this apartment?
No. There is only us, he says. You can see that he's like sweating. He's really trying to keep it cool. You can see sort of the training, kicking in, but it's difficult. Like it's not something that people handle that well, even if they are trained. He's trying his best, though.
Can I roll an investigate roll?
Yes, you can. Please do so.
dear, that's 7. In my quick little search, is there anything weird about what I'm investigating? So I go in quickly. I'm obviously not, having heard the amount of time we have, I'm being a bit clumsy about it. And I'm just very quickly looking for anything strange, out of place. Something. I'm really angry because he's not here. We needed him to be here. This isn't good enough.
You investigate, and as I said, what you find is an apartment that feels like Anton Mahler is really a professional. He has no personal items of any kind, nothing that could give anyone here really any clue as to who he is. Certainly nothing incriminating connected to him. However, there's one thing, and it feels very out of place, but it's there. A bureau in the living room you find contains a pack of blurry color photographs that seem to have been taken in a cellar. It's a series of photographs that shows a man who is obviously Philip Kramer killing a tied-up woman with a knife and draining the body of blood.
What the fuck? I quickly pick these up and pocket them.
You do so. That is all you can find in this apartment.
I sort of make a mental check and I go, fuck, shit. I make a nod to Bjorn. I think we need to go.
What is the easiest way out of here?
Same way that you came.
Would there be an idea for me to incapacitate this guy before I leave?
You could choke him out. You know what to do.
I'm observing Carver coming back and giving you a questioning look and saying, like, time is running out.
Yeah, let's go. And I'm already starting to head to the door and just slowly opening it to look outside.
You look outside and you see 2 men moving towards the door with their weapons drawn.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign The Black Madonna for the tabletop role-playing game Kult, Divinity Lost. The Black Madonna was originally constructed by Gunilla Jonsson and Mikael Petersen in 1991, with additional material for the 2017 edition by Marco Berman, Matthias Fredriksson, Petter Nallo, and Robin Liljenberg. Kult, Divinity Lost is published by Helmgast. The music was created by Atrium Kasseri and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel to hear more excellent dark ambient. A new episode of Red Moon Roleplaying is released every Friday. Please like our Facebook page and give us comments, input and feedback there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. Finally, a big thank you to all supporters. If you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work, look out for us on Patreon and see if you want to support the show there. While the show will always be free of charge to our listeners, Patreon supporters will have access to extra material, such as a bonus podcast where we answer your questions about the campaign and role-playing games in general. If you just can't wait, you can even get access to the full-length, raw and unedited versions of our gaming sessions way before they are released as finished episodes. Thanks for listening. Looking forward to meeting again next week.